Hi everyone, it's Tatyana from Tatyana's Everyday Food and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I have an extra special video recipe for you guys. I'm making my triple strawberry macaron cookies. Today I'm going to be using the French method to make strawberry flavored almond biscuits, strawberry buttercream, and we're going to add some strawberry preserves into the center of each cookies. These are just amazing. And today I'm sharing something that's been requested across all my other macaron video recipes, cup measurements. I'm going to give you guys cup measurements and gram measurements and you can decide which one's easier for you. So without further ado, let's get started and make some macarons. Today I'm going to get started on my dry ingredients first. So I've measured out 120 grams or 1 cup of almond flour and I'm going to drop that into my food processor. And to that I'm going to be adding 200 grams or 2 cups of confectioner's sugar. Drop that all in. I'm going to pulse together the sugar and the flour for a couple minutes just until the two are well combined and I don't have any clumps. I'm going to empty out that mixture into a fine mesh strainer here and I'm going to sift this mixture into a large bowl. I've sifted my dry ingredients through and I have some larger clumps of almond flour still left, so I'm going to drop that back into my food processor. I'm going to pulse this again in the food processor and then sift it again until I don't have any clumps remaining. I've set aside my dry ingredients and now I'm going to get started on my meringues. I have 100 grams of egg whites. It's approximately 3 extra large eggs. I'm going to place them here into my mixer bowl. And to my egg whites, I'm going to be adding 50 grams or 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar. I'm going to turn my mixer on to high speed and I'm going to whisk the egg whites and the sugar until stiff peaks form. It usually takes about 5 to 7 minutes. You want to make sure you whisk your egg whites to the right consistency. You see here they're super stiff and they're sticking to my whisk attachment when they scrape down the sides of my bowl. This is just the way you need them to be. For this recipe, make sure you're using concentrated gel food coloring, not the liquid kind. So I'm going to drop a few drops of red food coloring. And I'm also going to add some strawberry emulsion. So strawberry emulsion is like a super concentrated extract that also has a little bit of food coloring. I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of that. All right, and now it's time to combine the meringue with the flour. So I have my flour all sifted here, so I'm just gonna drop it over the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my spatula and I'm just gonna start folding all the ingredients together. And it looks a little messy at first, but it's gonna get better. Once the cookie batter starts coming together nicely, what you'll wanna do is take your spatula, scrape down through the bottom of the bowl, and then press the batter up against the sides, just like this. And that's just gonna help deflate the batter, and it's gonna help get it to the right consistency. You wanna mix the batter just until it reaches the right consistency, and it should look kind of like molten lava. It's gonna ribbon off of your spatula and kind of settle back down on itself. And now it's time to transfer this into a pastry bag. I found a small lid, it's about 1 inch across, and then I took a permanent marker and on the back side of my parchment paper I drew out little circles, and this is going to be the perfect guide for the cookies. And now I'm ready to pipe my cookies. So I'm going to take some scissors, cut off the tip of my pastry bag here, and I'm going to pipe small little dollops right onto my parchment paper using the circles I made earlier as a guide. Once you've piped your cookies out onto your parchment paper, what you want to do is line your countertop with a towel and then drop your pan a few times. Just like that. And that's going to help release any air bubbles that are trapped in the batter. My cookies have been resting at room temperature for 40 minutes and you want them to sit until a thin shell forms on the outside. You should be able to just run your finger across the top and the cookie batter won't stick to your finger. And that's when you know they're ready to go into the oven. Today I have my oven preheated to 325 degrees Fahrenheit and I'm going to bake my cookies for about 13 minutes. Now every single oven bakes differently. So the first pan that you put into the oven, keep a sharp eye on it. Sometimes the cookies are going to bake too fast and they're going to brown on the outside. That means your oven is too hot. Go ahead and turn it down about 5-10 degrees. If your cookies are in there too long and they're not changing much, that means your oven temperature is too low. Go ahead and turn it up about 5-10 degrees. Once you take your cookies out of the oven, you want to let them rest on the parchment paper for about 10 minutes and then you can lift them off the paper And you see how easily they lifted right off? If yours don't lift off that easily, that means you underbake them. So place them back into the oven to make sure that they're completely baked through. My cookies are all done now, and while I'm waiting for them to cool, I'm gonna get started on my buttercream. So I have 2 sticks or 1 cup of butter, and I've softened this at room temperature. I'm gonna drop it into my mixer. I'm gonna whisk my butter on high speed for about 5 to 7 minutes until it's really light and fluffy and white in color. And now I'm gonna add in a few tablespoons of sweetened condensed milk. I'm also gonna add about half a teaspoon of the same strawberry emulsion that I used for the macaron recipe. And it's gonna add some nice strawberry flavor to our buttercream. And finally, I'm gonna add in 2 cups of confectioner's sugar and whisk my buttercream for a few more minutes to get everything combined. And now it's time to put the cookies together. So they're completely cooled, and I've turned half of them upside down, and then I transfer my frosting into a pastry bag, cut off the tip with some scissors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of filling in a circle. I'm leaving an empty space in the center because I'm gonna add a little bit of strawberry preserves to the center of each cookie. And now it's time to add our strawberry preserve. So I just transferred some from the bottle into a small Ziploc bag, cut off the tip here, and all you have to do is drop a little dollop right into the center of each cookie. And now all we have to do is top each cookie off with the other half, apply a little bit of pressure to spread the filling evenly to the edges. And that's it for my triple strawberry macaron recipe. If you cannot resist these little cookies, you can actually dig in and enjoy them right away. But for optimal flavor, what I recommend doing is placing them into a container, wrapping the container really well with some plastic wrap, and then set them into the refrigerator for a few days to mature. What will happen is the cookies will absorb all that moisture from the buttercream, and then every bite you take, the cookies are just gonna melt in your mouth. It's absolutely phenomenal. So today I'm gonna take a bite on camera, so I'm sure you guys don't wanna wait for a few days. These just look so pretty. Guys, these macaron cookies are perfection. I love the intense strawberry flavor, and the almond biscuit and the strawberry buttercream is just to die for. It tastes so good. And when you get to that center with the strawberry preserves, it's just like a sweet little surprise. It's so delicious. You guys are gonna love these cookies. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video recipe, and I hope the cup measurements are gonna be helpful for those who don't have a kitchen scale at home. Check out my channel for more macaron recipes like my favorite salted caramel coffee or raspberry lemon. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.